Hi, guys. Before we begin this week's episode, I just really wanted to sit down and have a one-on-one chat with you. Just a heads up, this episode was recorded the day everything went down. So there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of confusion, and there's also a lot of assumptions. And I'm not going to lie, I was really hesitant on putting this episode up. But the reason why I decided to put this up is because it's not about him at all. It's not about my relationship with him. It's not about giving you the juiciest content or story. Because honestly, I wish I wasn't living through this pain right now, but this is just the reality of things. And this is just, I believe, the new beginning of my self-discovery and my self-love and my self-worth. And that's what this show is about. And this is what I want to represent. And so that's why I decided to put it up, because this is a part of my story. And I think it's easy to just kind of pinpoint the bad guy or tell me, hey, like, he's a piece of shit. Like, you deserve so much better. Like, I don't know why you did that. I don't know. Just move on. Like, you deserve better, sis. Like, you got this. And I love all the encouragement and the support. I'm not knocking it. I just don't want any negativity about him. It doesn't help me at all. And it's also because it's just not about him. This is about me. I don't want to have anger anymore, and that's why I don't want to hear it. So, and the last time there have been tweets sent out to him, that were really negative. And to be honest, I don't stand for that shit. I don't want to encourage that shit, and I don't want that to represent me and my show. I don't want that to ever be an outcome of the content that I put out. And I understand that that's possible because it's very vulnerable and people support me, so they want to have my back and they hear my side of the story. But I do not want that to happen. I will not tolerate it. I don't even want to hear people telling me he's trash, move on, sis. I don't want to hear that. And I understand why people do it, but I'm letting you guys know now, I don't support that. I always want to support positivity. I want you guys to see it in a way where this is just a part of my story. He is his own person with his own struggles and his own life. I am my own person. He played a chess piece in my life just as I played a chess piece in his. And that's okay. And that's just the journey of love and dating. And I don't want to hear about anything negative. And I just want to give a huge thanks to everyone who's been supporting me. I love every single one of you. And because I know now with TikTok giving me a younger audience, I just want to continuously show you guys the strength of being a woman and getting over breakup, and that we'll be okay, and just to keep going. That is my message. We are not going to bash anyone. We are going to support each other and lift each other up. That's what we're going to do. So even if I say he's a fucking asshole in this episode, we're not going to say it. We're not going to say it to him. Okay. Just know that I was in my moment. But yeah, I love you all. You guys are amazing. Please enjoy the episode.
Growth therapy.
And we are back. Hi guys, it's me, Stephanie Megan, your host of Broco Therapy. Guess the fuck what? We have Rachel W. in the motherfucking building.
I'm back.
Thank you for coming.
Oh my gosh, I feel honored that
Put
you
some
thought
hand
of me.
sanitizer.
Yeah,
We're in the middle of a pandemic. It is an emergency pod. And
emergency times.
And I thought of you because you have expressed to me on the show how you've been in a toxic relationship, and how it was really difficult to get out of that. And now you're in a healthier relationship. So, and honestly, I just need I feel like you're a good listener, and all I need is just to vent.
Do it. I'm here. I am all ears.
Thank you. Okay, where the fuck do I begin?
Yeah, I know nothing, so
I haven't seen you.
I literally walked in and was like, all right, what's going on? And we had to save it for the pod, so I'm dying to know what's going on.
I know.
I
And
miss you.
what was what happened the last time I talked to you? What was going on?
Honestly, I think the last time I saw you in person was the shoot.
Oh yeah, and I told you he said he loved me, and that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was so excited about it because I was like, oh my God, I've never said I love you to anyone in a while.
Yeah.
Wait, that's some shit.
So what's happened now?
So, okay. Did you hear the intervention episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that dropped, and I literally, like, on my timer, immediately started listening. My timer was set. I was like, intervention, I need to know.
Yeah, and I feel like that was just the beginning of the end. And it just... So, you know, obviously we talked just to preface, but I feel like that episode did really well, but it kind of really fucked up my relationship too. You win some and you lose some.
True, but the podcast came from actions made.
Right.
So we don't even have to like bring that whole episode back up. But
right.
Don't think that you talking about it
it's like everything.
Yeah.
It's what happened. It's the fact that I went on the show and I talked about it. It's the fact that I tweeted about it. It's like everything. And it's just, you know, also what he did and, you know, what I did. And it's just like, it literally was the beginning of just what became such a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and like I tried hard not to fight the reality of the fact that it was like toxic. Get this fly out of here.
What is this? Featuring
the fly. And so, okay, so I did an episode post-intervention via Zoom. I hate Zoom episodes, but I did it. And I talked about how him and I, like, okay, so after the intervention episode, we got back together. Clearly, I was, like, not shy about showing anyone about it. And we got back together, and it was really, like, I felt like, at one point, I felt like it made us stronger. Because we're like, oh, my God, we really love each other. Let's just not really fuck this up. Let's, like, really try to make this work. And... we were trying. We really did. We felt like, you know, there was so much in our relationship and so much love that it was just worth it. And we felt bad for what we did to one another.
Right.
And I thought he forgave me because what happened was my my ex-boyfriend hit me up and was like, hey, you know, I want to chat and like, let's catch up over ramen. Like, let me know when you're free. And I looked at this as an opportunity for content. And I mean, quite honestly, like I was really curious about what Bobby had to say.
Right.
Like I was just like,
I remember Bobby.
Like, yes, you were there.
I remember Bobby when he was Bobby.
When he was fucking Bobby.
Yeah.
And when he broke up with me, you know, it was like we never had that conversation.
No,
like,
you never got closure from it.
No.
Or answers.
I mean, I didn't even care to get closure, but I think he never got closure from it. And I don't care. You know, at this point, like, I'm not caring. I'm in love with Morgan, you know, but of course there is a part of me, and I'm not going to lie, like, I did go through a phase where I was, like, so confused on, like, where the show was going to go because now it was in love.
Right.
So I'm like, what the fuck? No one wants to hear me when I'm in love.
I know no one wants to hear us people in
no
love.
one wants to hear me happy.
No one likes you happy.
Like,
it's not entertaining, Stephanie.
Yeah, and it's just like, fuck, like, I got to get creative on how I have to still keep this show, you know, afloat, you know, because it's like, I'm, like, living a fucking dream. Like, I'm so, like, I found the man that I'm in love with, and I was excited, you know, to make memories with him and to even, you know, like, be with him for a really long time, if not forever. Like, I think about that, I'm like, ew, really, I said forever.
Okay, when you're in love, you say some things.
When you're in love, you're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot.
You're a fucking dumbass. Like,
you really are. You
so
have
stupid.
the glasses on. You don't see anything for the way that it actually is.
And it's like, I knew there was a lot of these, like, red flags. Like, that's the thing is, like, I'm not dumb at seeing the red flags. It's just, I don't, you know, I just kind of just brush it away.
The
like,
love makes the flags kind of
just
look beautiful in the wind a little bit.
look like wings in the wind.
Yeah, they just like flutter like beautifully instead of.
You're like, wow, look at those flags.
Beautiful flag. I love that flag.
Look at that flag. I love you for your flags.
Love you.
Yes. That was me. Like, I was just like, oh my God, you're so incredible. Even though I know you're a piece of shit, but you're so incredible. Even though you really are a piece of shit. Like, it just like, I just was so in love, you know, and I feel weird saying that now because I like don't want to be in love.
Yeah, but it was your, like, it's what you felt.
Yeah. And I feel like it might be confusing for people because I feel like my relationship status is a little like up and down, like through social media, and so okay. Anyway, so the post-intervention episode, I talked about how, we did come across a lot of issues in our relationship because it was long distance. He's in Alabama. He's going through so much, with his family and everything. And I was there for him, but it was just so hard to like please each other, because he was just going through so much. And so, but we like, even though we would break up, like we would still be talking.
Right.
Like I could, like, it was like a drug. It was a fucking drug. Like the love, the like having your best friend. Like I could call him and just say the most ridiculous shit and he just will like laugh and listen and love me. Like it felt amazing to just feel this feeling with someone who like you felt like really fucking cared.
Well, it's because you find when you are that in love, you're with someone, you find a human that you're your most unfiltered self. Yes. And like even your best friends, I mean, for the most part, you're pretty unfiltered and whatever. Right. But it's like even more unfiltered. It's more unfiltered. It's so different. I mean, I get it. It's so different. It's
like your own personal person.
It is.
Like, it's that person you could tell, like, oh my God, I had diarrhea. Like, I'm not going to go on the pod and let you guys know. Like, I mean, I might, but like, I'm not going to just do an emergency pod for diarrhea. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, it's just like you talk about those things and you like, you care for each other.
Safety. It makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
And they're still there at the end of the day with all of you there.
Like I would have anxiety attacks and he would be there to like, God damn it. Oh, too early to cry. He would be there.
Yeah.
God damn it, I didn't bring tissues. I was supposed to bring tissues. It's okay.
Should I use the Clorox wipes? It's on brand for this
I know
right now.
it is. It's okay. I'll just let these happen. But yeah, so like, I would get bad anxiety or I would like have a really shitty day or something like that, and like he was there, like he was the person to like make me feel better and to make me feel like, like everything will be okay.
Yeah.
And sorry.
It's okay. You cry.
So, like every time like we got into a fight or we break up, he always reflected back to the fact that I was gonna go hang out with my ex. Even though, you guys, like, I knew, bottom of my heart, I knew I was never going to have sex with him. I knew it. Because I didn't want to. It wasn't worth risking my relationship with Morgan.
Right.
Like, it's just not in me to do that. Like, did I want... Like, I feel like I could have a civil conversation with my ex. Because I've done it. I've had them on the show.
Yeah.
Like, I could do that, know? And, like, he just was always like, nah, like, if you're gonna go see your ex, you're definitely gonna go fuck him. Like, don't lie to me, and like he just always felt like I was lying to him. Like he always felt like I was like having a wandering eye. Like he would give me shit for being like, why are you looking at other dudes? Like you have a wandering eye. And I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck I was looking at. I was probably looking at the girls because they look good. Like we were at the club. Like I was just like, what are you talking about? Who am I looking at? Like I'm looking at everyone.
Yeah.
Like I don't even remember who I looked at.
Right.
Like, no one stands out to me, And like he just always constantly was like, you have a wandering eye. Like you would go fuck your ex. Like you would go do this. Like you were a hoe. Like of course you would pull this type of shit. Like he always made me feel guilty. And I'm like, no, like that's not what I'm here for. Like I want to be in a relationship. I want to take shit seriously. Like I'm not here to fucking play games or like cheat or fuck something up. Like I want to like as soon as I realized that he was upset about me meeting up with my ex, like I I felt bad, I cried and I said sorry and I tried to make it up to him, and like and I try to be there for him and I try to just love him unconditionally. I don't know. So
that's love though too. Like that, everything you just said to me, like every sentence you drop, all it screams is his insecurity. Like none of that was none of that was you. Even if you did fucking check out a nice looking man at the club.
I didn't do anything about it.
You didn't, but even if you did.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a reaction if he trusted you, if he didn't have his own issues. And I'm not putting blame on him or you or whatever, because we all have our fucking baggage. We had a whole episode about baggage. We had a whole baggage episode. I think that was our first one, maybe.
No, that wasn't our first one.
Was it the last one that we just did?
I forget.
But we did a whole episode about it. We all have it.
Yeah.
He needs to work through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what we do is we use the person closest to us as our punching bag with our baggage. So
yeah, and that's what he did. I mean, he definitely like always made me feel guilty for who I was. You know, like it felt like he just never trusted me, or I don't know. It was just like weird, and I started to feel like a jealous girlfriend. Like I couldn't trust him. You know, I'm like. Who is that girl? Like, who are you talking to? Who, why are you liking? Like, I'm looking at photos he's, or like tweets he's liking. If he's liking some other bitch's tweet, like, who the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck you liking her tweet? Or like, I'll call him out and be like, why didn't you call me? What the fuck were you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I started being this like jealous girlfriend. And so I'm starting to think like, am I insecure? Like, what do I need to work on? Like, I immediately went back to like what I needed to do to make sure that I wasn't going to like react this way. Like I didn't want to be this person, but I loved him. I just thought like maybe it's kind of cute for a second, like I just well,
and that's emotional maturity on your part to recognize behavior and then try to internalize, like understand it and try to fix it. But I'll tell you, in my experience with my toxic relationship, same exact thing. It rubs off on you. And every human I've ever had a conversation with about toxic relationships has the same exact story. You start to become, even in a healthy relationship, you and your partner start to develop similar qualities.
Right.
When it's toxic, you're going to get that too.
Exactly.
So I think it's a wonderful thing to always, I think it's very important to always have self-awareness of like your emotions, why you're feeling things. So still follow that, but also know that it was a lot of him. His insecurities totally just rubbing itself on you.
It was. And I like noticed that once everything just really like fell apart, and I don't know. So like, so I just felt like the relationship was very much like just a very jealous, like I was just always on edge, especially because being in a long distance relationship, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing. And also, let's be real, you guys, like there's been episodes about this. He had a girlfriend when we started dating. That doesn't fucking help too.
No.
And I will admit that. Like, he had a whole ass girlfriend. I had a whole ass episode with Rose, a lot of sides, which by the way, really I don't even, like, I might be revealing a lot right now, like a lot. But till that day, like that episode, like literally also was another episode that fucked up our relationship. And he, didn't like me being friends with her. He didn't, and this is actually the reason why we broke up the last time, which was a few weeks ago, which is the beginning of everything.
Okay.
Again, he brings up something that I've done. And I was telling him about the show returning and, what I wanted to do with the show and what I wanted to talk about and who I wanted to do it with. And I said, I want to do it with Rose. Mm-hmm. And he fucking flipped. It was like, I'm done with you. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. And he made me pick between me or her. Not me and her, but him or her.
Oh my gosh, I'm laughing. That's when you know.
Yeah. And I was like, you're literally going to break up with me for something like this. Like, this is literally what you're, like, this fucking reason. Like, Rose doesn't give a fuck about you. Like, Rose does not give two shits. She is like living her life with her boyfriend, living her like she does not care about you.
And like, you have the audacity. You're so fucking afraid of her and all the truth that she said on the fucking podcast, that like, you are telling me to choose you over him or her. Like, you're that fucking pathetic. Mm-hmm. Sorry. I might be yelling a lot and I'm trying to like, so I fucked up and I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. Like, I won't have her on the show then. I was like, I'm not going to have her on the show. And then we started to become okay again. But it was still like, it still bothered me. Like, it wasn't something I was just trying to just like, you know, like, just ease the fucking...
You're just babysitting.
I was just babysitting. I was just like, I don't want to fight about this. Like, this is, like, I don't want to break up. Like, if we're going to break up, like, have it be a real fucking reason. I don't want it to be because of Rose. Rose doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
She's not a part of this relationship.
Right.
She's probably going to find out through this fucking podcast. I'm sorry. I'll probably call her before this. And so that was the beginning of it. We broke up and I was like, you know what? I'm just ready. I'm ready to just like not deal with this bullshit. Like, this is before we were okay. Like, it was like a couple of days where I was like, I'm just ready to date, you know? So I went on Hinge. I don't know if you guys saw, but there was like a day where I was just on Hinge again. And I went on a date. Like, I didn't go on a date, sorry. I was supposed to have a FaceTime date.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, in this pandemic, you're dating?
No, I mean, like, it was awful. Oh my God, being on a Hinge the one day that I decided to go on was awful. Like, the guy didn't even, like, he was, like, way too late. Like, I was just like, I'm at a point where, like, I want to be taken seriously. I want to be respected of my time. I want an actual relationship. If you're going to be a foolish little motherfucker, get the fuck out.
Well, and it's so hard, even with your relationship being more toxic.
Yeah.
It's so hard to literally jump from like something that's so maybe toxic but stable at least,
Right.
and you get all of their attention and respect already, hopefully,
Right.
and then go to like dealing with people who literally don't care about you. They don't know you. They don't care about you.
He was all trying to meet up too. He was like, let's like hang out. I was like, I'm trying to be careful because of COVID. Like, let's like maybe FaceTime, get to know each other before we just fucking pop it and lock it. I don't know.
Risk our little lives.
Like, I want to like, and also like, I'm at a point where like, I'm not interested in just fucking people. Like, I'm not going to fuck for a rebound. I'm not going to do any of that. Like,
Right.
I just wanted to like take the step of moving forward and not being in this toxic relationship. But I still like, I just was just trying to move on. Mm-hmm. And after a day I was like, I don't like this.
No.
Not for me. Like, I don't want to go on Hinge.
You always want what you can't have, and then you get on it, and then you're just like, no.
I know. And I'm like, God, this reminds me of just like, like I just couldn't take it anymore. Especially after having something so, what felt so real, and like you just had this strong ass chemistry
The
and
intimacy,
deep ass conversations. Yeah, to like, hey, you want to hang out? Like, you're like, so what do you do for a living, bro? Like, I just don't.
Ain't
like,
nobody have time.
Right. And so that was that. But then we started to really talk again because, I was missing him. we're missing each other. And we really like, again, back to our old ways where it wasn't a title, but we just still love each other and we're still there for each other. And that's where I fucked up. And, what's the word? Fucking fucked up. So like, it's like, okay, like, we're still call each other every day. Like, we're still, like, calling each other baby and bae, like, saying I love you, yada, 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 a bunch of shit. And one night I was like, I like, broke down. I was like, I just want to see you. Like, I miss you so much, and it's been so hard to see him with, obviously, the pandemic and, the fucking pandemic and like his, like what he's going through at home. It was just so hard, and then at that time the numbers were kind of a little low for what I believe. This is like right when it struck up back again. But I was like, he's like, all right, then just come here. So I said, fuck it. I bought a ticket, booked a hotel, and I was like,
Oh my God.
you know, we were both so excited. We're like, oh my God, now time is ticking. We have a few weeks and we got to see each other. Like, this is amazing. And I'm just like, hell yeah, I got to shave my vagina again. Like, it's been so long. I'm about to get some dick. I'm like, oh my God, I got to just hold him. I got to just like, I just wanted, like, I don't even care if we fucking like go out. I don't care to see Alabama, but if we're just in the hotel we're quarantining together, like I'm okay with that. Like, that's what I want. Like, I could work from home. I could do that there. Like, maybe I could stay there for 2 weeks. Like, just like before I come back. Like, it just it was like I bought a new luggage. Like, like I just, you know, and I just was so excited. And we had this plan of, you know, I was like, well, I'm gonna go on birth control. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Planned Parenthood. I'm gonna go on birth control. And that way, like, you could fucking nut in me all the time, and, you know, we're good. And he even had the nerve of being like, you know, like, you don't have to be on birth control, like, being okay with getting me pregnant. And I was like, no, that's not. I was like, we're not there yet. We're not even official, apparently. Like, no, you know. So that was that.
So wait. So when was this?
This was last week when I like booked the flight.
Okay.
About just
okay, so
about.
this was
I'm
recent.
like I like don't have any track of my days. It just was like maybe a week or two or something like that that I booked my flight.
So recent.
Yeah, very recent. And so we're just, you know, we're good. I'm excited. I'm, you know, like just thinking about what I'm gonna wear, looking up lingerie, bought a new luggage, like gonna go on birth control, doing research on what birth control I want to go on and stuff, and, you know, like telling all my friends how excited I am, and like, you know, we're even thinking of doing an episode. Like, that'd be fun, like, to do an episode together, you know, and like just spend time together. Like, I already told my mom, I was like, can you watch my dog? Like, it was planned. And so come to this week, he was acting kind of funny.
Oh no.
And I know this is I love you like reposition yourself.
Like,
here we go.
Comes.
I know, here we go.
Ready.
So he's just acting funny. Like, he's not calling me as much. I will blow his phone up. Like, if he doesn't pick up, I'll call 20 times in a row.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, where the fuck are you?
No shame.
Like, you know what? I know you're at home. Like, call me. What the fuck? You know? And so I'm calling him. And he's just like, he picks up. He's like, babe, like, I'm running errands. Like, I'll call you when I get back. Doesn't call me when he gets back. And another day comes by, calling him. Few minutes, babe. I don't hear shit. And, you know, after a few days, I was like, you know what? And I texted him. I was like, you know what? You're mad.
Would you hear from him after? Like, would you talk later that night or
no?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be thrown off.
Completely.
Yeah.
Like, we, like, us women, like, we know you.
Oh, we know.
We know.
Even if we don't know you, we know.
Like, if you acting funny,
oh, we know.
we fucking, like, that's the thing. Like, like, especially me. Like, I'm not just some ordinary woman. I fucking know. And I feel like God or the stars, or if it's my fucking grandma, I don't know. Someone sends me shit. Like, I just know.
Same.
Like, and immediately I'm just like, this ain't right, you know? And so, but I didn't want to, like, come at him. Like, who you fucking, you know? And so I'm like, all right, let me like, you know, tell him like that his behavior is like disrespectful. So I texted him. I was like, are you never going to call me? Like, I don't understand. Like, you are acting hella disrespectful right now. And he was like, what is this about? Like, he was like confused on why I was upset. I'm like, this fucking like, yeah. And so he calls me, of course, right when I like throw a fit. He calls me and he's like, what's that about? Like, are you good? Like, what's going on? And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, do you realize what you're doing is fucking rude? If you tell me you're going to call me, what I do is I sit aside. I sit by my phone. I take it off silent. I check it to make sure I pick up your fucking phone call.
Right.
Like, I make sure that I am there to pick up when you call.
Right.
Like, I move my fucking life around
because
for
he's
you.
a priority.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you tell me a few minutes and then never fucking call me? Like, don't fucking say that.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, he's like, my brother is in town. I was like, I didn't fucking know that. Like, you didn't.
I'm confused though. His
Because
brother.
he's like spending time with his brother.
All the day?
I guess.
Every night?
And I was like, that's what I said. I was like, you know, he's like, we're just grilling right now. Midnight, by the way. We're grilling right now. We're just grilling some chicken. Yeah, it's at midnight, but like, we grilling. I'm like.
Midnight snack?
Yeah, I was like, the fuck? I was like, okay, I'm not fucking accusing you of anything, but if you had the decency, you will tell me, you know, like, that your brother's in town. I'm not there. All I have is what you tell me. So if you tell me a few minutes, baby, then I'm going to wait the next few minutes.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Right. Also, is that a big deal that his brother was in town? Why didn't he tell you that? That's right.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you never were just like, oh, my brother.
You guys
Like,
are telling each
never-
other everything.
Like, he never, like, told me his brother was coming to town. So I was like, oh, I didn't know your brother was coming to town, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, whatever. So I try to, like, respect it. I'm like, all right, cool. Spend time with your brother.
Those flags are starting to flap a little bit harder. They ain't so cute anymore.
Yeah, they're not cute.
No.
They're not. And so I'm like, all right. The next day, I'm like, I'm not going to call him. I'm going to respect his time. If he wants to talk to me, he'll call me. Mm-hmm. Nothing. All he did was text me, good afternoon. Like, some lazy ass effort. Mm-hmm. And he's like, good afternoon. He's like, what you doing? I was like, I'm working. Like, he's like, I got hella gas. I was like, okay. And like, it was like, that's it. And like, that's it. You tell me you got hella gas. Like, I was just like so confused. But that was it. Like, didn't try to continue the conversation. Didn't call me at all. I was like, that's hella funny behavior. Next day, didn't hear shit. And then I was watching Love Island with my roommate.
Love it.
I love Love Island.
What season are you on?
6.
I've seen them all.
Okay.
I've seen all of them.
I just got done with season 5, so now I just started season 6.
Okay, I have to say though, we're going so off topic, but I love season 1.
I didn't see season 1.
Oh,
I started from like season 4, I think.
Okay, I can't remember which one. I'm so bad at like remembering which season is which. I think season 3 might be my favorite, but season 1 was just so low budget, fresh off the dock, like such a good trash reality TV
I tried
show.
to watch season 1, and it was just like I couldn't watch the quality.
Yeah, you can't watch the new ones and then go back.
No, I can't.
started at 1 because someone told me to, and I'm so glad that I did. Because after
I can't go back.
You can't go back. But like, it's a whole different house.
Yes.
It's like a whole.
And if anything, like
amazing.
what I love about it is like such a I know we're so off track right now. It's such a, but it relates to Rogue there. It's like so psychological because you know you see how people react when it comes to like spinning game and finding love, and you know when you trust and when you just somehow lose interest, like all the shit that goes down, you know. And I just like it's so interesting.
It's so interesting.
Yeah. Anyway,
Love that show.
We
should have them sponsor this.
I know. That was not
Love
a sponsor, guys.
Island.
That was just straight fangirling over fucking Love Island.
Love it.
So anyway, okay. So I'm with my roommate, and I'm just on Instagram casually looking, and his ex shows up on my explore page. So I'm like, and I haven't lurked her in a while, but I'm like, let me look, and then I looked, which is kind of odd because I lurk her from my fake Instagram.
I miss my fake Instagram.
You don't have your fake Instagram?
I like got logged out. I think Ava and I used to share one, and then
I could just give you mine.
I know that's what we used to do. We'd like share one, so
Yeah.
it feels less weird.
I literally like my like fake Instagram is a community of girls. Like I don't know it's literally just so many branches of women on this to the point where I'm like I'm surprised no one's like caught on because it's just I'm pretty sure it's fucking like.
It's so fun. I miss mine. I don't. Chris is so boring. I have like nothing to
Yeah,
stalk
you
him
have
about
nothing to
anymore.
stalk, so
But
you don't need it. You don't need it.
I'm sure I could hit some X's. I could have fun with it.
Right. You can always have fun with the fake Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually lurk her on my fake Instagram, not my real Instagram. But she came up on my explore page. I think I looked like once or something.
Yeah,
But like that was
that'll
it.
get you.
Right.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
But but she's never on my explore page. But she just somehow magically appeared on my explore page. And of course, that, was like, let me look.
It was like an invitation.
Yes, it was.
You can't ignore
it was
an
a fucking
invitation.
message from whoever.
Grandma, the stars.
The stars, my grandma. Like, it was a message.
Right.
And this is the ex-girlfriend that he left for me.
Right. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So,
And where does she live?
she lives, God.
Or should I not? Should
She
we
actually
not?
lives in Missouri.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
I can't.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. I'll just show you her Instagram.
It's such a thing to do. Us, if we meet someone that's also from, the question isn't like where and are you from?
Right.
It's what high school did you go to?
Oh, really?
I kid you not. It's
I
like,
could probably figure it out.
yeah.
I'm
sure I know
found her
it.
Facebook too, so.
Oh, I'm sure.
I hope she's
know it.
listening. I hope you're fucking listening.
She's probably
Actually, I got no beef with you because you're gonna do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's him I got fucking issue with. So I go on her page and she's in fucking Alabama, in his town, and I know from all the information that he's told me, because trust me, I keep that shit filed in my motherfucking head just in case it needs to be come back out for fucking receipts. She is not where he's from. They met from a mutual friend and she lives, and so, and who the fuck is going to Alabama?
No
one's going to Alabama.
At least they shouldn't be.
Right. And it was like in the middle of a pandemic,
You shouldn't be there.
and you acted funny all week.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What are these posts? Not that it really matters, but I just.
it's not with like them. She just only posts like selfies, but then she'll like tag herself in Alabama, and her caption said like, "Bitch, she my boo."
That's what the caption said?
Yeah, but it was just like a selfie of her.
So, I hate everything about that. I hate everything about that.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was just very like it's almost weird because I feel like she knew I'd see it. I don't know. Maybe she didn't think I don't know, but it was more like she really needed to make it known that she was in Alabama.
She's a woman. We know. I wouldn't put it past her.
I wouldn't because I wouldn't do the same thing. Well, maybe I don't know.
I know. I'm like, I wouldn't be so sure.
Like but I was definitely thinking about doing it.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah. So so like I obviously like got really heated. I literally, as soon as I saw those photos, I took a massive shit.
It was just like your body.
My body
just
was like
rejected it all.
Yes, literally, I took 2 massive shits back to back. Like I could not. Like it was just releasing because you just like your whole body just
You feel it.
Like you feel it physically.
Head
And
to
my
toe, yeah.
bowels were like, bitch. And I just was taking massive shits and I was blowing up his phone as I was shitting, and
Oh my God.
it just like. And he was not picking up. Of course, he's not
So
picking
what
up.
day is this now? What day are we on?
What day is it? Hold on.
It's Sunday now.
I know it's Sunday now. I'm just like so confused
Trying
with
to
all my
keep-
days.
I'm
And
trying
I
to
feel
keep
like this sounds
on
like a really long week.
It does.
Like, are you sure this is all?
Uh-huh.
It felt like a really long week. It was Thursday when I
Okay.
saw the photos.
Okay.
And
And when did the sketchiness begin?
Sunday.
Okay.
So about a week now. And like one sketchy day feels like a whole fucking week.
I can't.
Especially if it just keeps continuing and you're not, it's just nothing's adding up.
Oh.
Yeah. So I texted him. I said, call me back. I can't do this anymore. And I canceled my flight. I said, I haven't heard from you. Clearly something is going on and it's just not right. You're not mature enough to talk to me about it. So I'm out. And I completely blocked him. So I didn't.
Did you tell him you knew about the girl?
No.
Okay.
I was just really vague because I didn't. I mean,
knows,
honestly,
no.
honestly, my original plan was to get screenshots and send it to him and be like, I know you with your bitch. Like, I just, like, that was, like, my initial reaction was, like, I wanted to fucking fight. I wanted to be petty. I wanted to go in. So that was a very mature, like really calm version of it. Like, I was talking to my friend, like, Nina, and she was just like, okay. She's, like, very, like, level-headed. And she's like, okay, like, sleep on this. Obviously tell him, like, you're upset, but, like, you know, I definitely think you should cancel your flight, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah. And she was right. I just was like, and I knew for a fact, like, even though it was speculation, like, you know, it just doesn't make, like, it just all makes sense. It all makes sense to the point where it's so sick. It's like, how can you not believe it? Like, you've been acting funny all week. Here's your girl fucking posting that she's in fucking Alabama.
And why would she be in Alabama?
And why the fuck would she be in Alabama?
Especially during a pandemic.
Right. And that's why your ass wanted to fucking break up with me over a fucking, like, I wanted a friend on this show that you didn't like. Like, sorry, I'm going to be yelling. I know, before go ahead there. It just sounds like a fucking excuse. So I knew without confirmation, this is what was happening. And I just, like, I wanted to cuss him out. Like, I wanted to send the receipts.
I would have.
I wanted to so badly. And, like, I knew that it wasn't time yet. Like, I knew I needed a minute because it was so fresh.
I'm proud of
you. Know? So,
yeah.
Oh, girl.
No, I'm telling you, as I'm literally hearing this whole story, because we know I'm an empath, I'm feeling it all. And I'm like, I would have been gone. I would have. It's so hard to not go towards the dark side.
And it's just like, you want to, like, and it's also one of those things too where it's like, I'm not surprised. Like, this is something that you would fucking pull. Like, you're not a fucking good ass guy. So of course I'm going to go with my gut, and if something looks suspicious, I'm gonna think the worst. I'm not gonna think the best of you. I'm not gonna think that you wouldn't fucking, you know, talk to your ex or, like, talk to any other girl. I know you.
Sorry. No, get it out.
And so, happened after that. So I blocked him for a day, like 24 hours.
So we sent and block.
Yeah, we sent.
Okay. And
blocked. And when did this happen? And then the next day, I just was like, Friday, I was so depressed all of Friday. Like, you know, I work from home, but, like, I couldn't get myself to work. Yeah. Like, I couldn't, like, I just couldn't focus. Like, I literally, like, took the fattest nap, like, during the day, like, just to avoid the feelings. Like, I, like, you know, was just, like, wondering if he was calling me, wondering if maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just crazy. Like, maybe I'm just, like, overthinking. Like, it was just so much, like, going on. And, you know, so it was just, like, but I knew, like, in my heart, like, that shit was, like, real. That he was currently with his ex, you know? And so that night, like, Friday night, I was just like, I'm just going to call him. And so, of course, I call him. You don't pick up. Call him, like, 3 times. You don't pick up. And so, I'm like, fuck it. I'll just text him. So I, like, sent him this long text. I'll read it right now.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Let's see. So every time I, like, jerk cry, you guys take a shot. So every time I'm about to fucking choke and, like, cry, like, take a shot when you listen to it.
I love it.
But I've read this a lot, so maybe I may not cry. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
So I called him a bunch of times, didn't pick up, and I said, I'm going to take your silence as a confirmation. No wonder you've been acting funny all week. I feel like a fool. I bought a flight, paid for a hotel, and was going to get birth control just to fly to your ass to spend time with you and let you have sex with me without a condom on. I'm realizing that I'm doing too much for someone who is doing not even the bare minimum. You can't even call me. You can't even communicate with me that your brother is in town. Even after I told you how I felt, nothing changed. It seemed all sketchy and nothing felt right. Your girl ended up on my Explore page, and I saw she was in Birmingham. You told me she's not from there, so of course her ass flew there to spend time with you. It all makes sense on your behavior this week. You do not care to talk to me at all. You moved on. I'm sure there's more to the story. There always is. No matter what the truth is, the reality is I'm willing to do what it takes to be in your life and make this work. I stood by you. Stood by you through everything this year. I really saw a future with you. I loved every part of you. Take a shot.
Chug.
Even if none of the speculation is true, I still felt some type of way. And it's because I can't trust you. There's never been trust. You never even trusted me. We're no good together. You told me last year on the boats to never put myself in this position again. You put me in this position, and now I'm taking your advice. I'm tired of feeling this way. I gave you the best parts of me without you barely giving me anything. You never wanted to commit to me, and as soon as we're going towards that direction, you leave. You always left. Just like you said on the boats, I can't let dudes treat me like this. This shit is hard, but you're right. Let me move on. And like, that's what I sent him. And then I blocked him right after that. Because I was just like, I couldn't, like, I was at a point where, like, I really thought I was okay with never speaking to him again. Because I could, like, I knew it was the truth. I didn't want to hear the truth. I didn't want to hear the lies.
You don't want to believe it.
I didn't want to hear, like even if I was wrong, I didn't want to hear it. Like, I just didn't want to hear anything. Like, I was just too, like emotional, you know? Yeah. And, like, I just, like, I knew I needed to move on. And the fact that he's not even done anything to, like, try to, like, get me back since I blocked him. Like, you have my email?
But you know where I live.
You know where I live? Like,
hop on a flight.
Right. Bring me some flowers. Send some flowers. Like, get this shit right. Get your fucking woman. Like, do something right. Like, make a fucking effort. That's literally all I've ever fucking asked. Like, make a fucking effort.
And honestly,
like, you want fucking convenient ass pussy. That's literally what the fuck you want. Sorry.
No, continue. Keep going.
God. And so I blocked him. Didn't hear from him. And then Saturday, Saturday again, I was going through it, but I just started to feel a little better. But I was still going through it, you know. And then this morning, I just, like, woke up with, like just crying. I just woke up crying. Like, I woke up with tears already. Like, I just was, like, just sad. Yeah. And even though I have him blocked, like, you could still get, like, messages to your MacBook. That's what I've learned. Because the first time I blocked him, he texted me saying, "Is your phone dead, or did you block me?" And that was it.
Went to your computer.
Yeah, I was like, damn it! Like, nah! Like, and so...
Wait, the first time you ever blocked him, or after you blocked him?
No, this is before this was the first time, like, when I was like, I know what you're doing, da-da-da.
Okay.
I didn't say I know what you're doing. I was just like, I don't know, you're being weird. I don't know what the hell. I'm confused in my fucking timeline.
Yeah.
The first time I blocked him, and then I got a text.
So he did try to reach out.
Apparently, and that's all he sent was that text. But, like, he didn't try hard enough. He has my email.
Right.
I always, like, do you ever do that with, like, you? And I blocked him on everything. I blocked him on social media. I blocked him on Twitter. I blocked him on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, you music host.
I blocked him, like, on everything.
You know what you need to block them on?
What?
This is just a PSA. Because I didn't even think this was a thing.
Uh-huh.
Venmo.
Really?
My ex, like, randomly, and you know, this is from, like, so many years ago. Like, we broke up, like, 7 years ago. I don't know, really long time. Or maybe it was, like, 5. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think it was, like, had to have been within the last year. Mm-hmm. He liked one of my payments, or, like, someone sent me money, and then, you know what, it will, like, show up on a feed.
Right.
He liked it. And we dated before the Venmo era.
No. So he definitely was like,
oh, hey.
Never
were on Venmo to get, like, we'd never
right, but it's, like, connected to your phone book.
Yeah, so I follow a bunch of random people on Venmo,
right.
just because when you like, join it,
right.
auto, you know, whatever. But
I know, I followed this random guy that I made out with in a club when I was 21. I'm like, what the fuck? Because he's in my phone book, I guess.
Who you get pizza with?
I know. Like, I guess he's got a girl now.
Oh.
Yeah, good for him, Pablo.
So anyways, yeah.
Pablo,
you better
I forgot your name.
Pablo. You better get on Venmo and block his ass, because
I should.
Same thing. He's been blocked on everything. And I was like, I didn't know they would come for you through Venmo. What?
Fucking Venmo. And then they see who you're hanging out with, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, it actually gives away a lot of personal information.
It does. You know who your roommate is.
You know who the roommate is. You know what you're spending your money on. Right. That's fucking personal.
Right. Who you're hanging out with, who your coworkers are, because you're probably splitting the fucking Postmates.
That's why I always, in the like descriptions, I'm always making up like weird like jokes or something.
Right. I never, or I put hi.
Yeah.
Literally all of my things
like
like
an
hi.
emoji.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I'm gonna make sure you get on that after this.
Where was I?
Okay, blocked him. Woke
So
up
I blocked
Sunday.
him. Yeah. So I woke up this morning. I woke up and I was like, let me just check my MacBook. Let me see if he like reached out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull this up. I don't know. So I sent him that long message. I blocked him, but I checked my MacBook and he says, call me when you can. If you don't ever want to talk to me again, I understand. I was like, what the fuck?
So he just like admitted his guilt.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, the reason why he wasn't fucking trying harder too to reach out to you,
Because he fucked up.
because he knew.
And so, like,
Oh, that bitch definitely did that on purpose.
yeah. For
I
sure.
keep running it back in my head. I'm like,
Yeah, she
fuck.
definitely posted on purpose.
Yeah.
And, like, I just, there's no hate towards her. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, it's like, I stole her man. You know? And, like, but he put us in that position.
Yep.
And so I can't, I'm not even, like, mad towards her. It's, if anything, I'm like, girl, don't fuck with him no more. Like, move the fuck on. Like, and not because of me, but because, like, he wasn't good to you.
Right.
And so I'm like, anyway, but it's not my problem. But so I like tell my roommate, and she's just like, I don't know, don't call him yet. And of course, I don't listen to anyone. I don't listen.
It's hard. It's hard,
especially when I'm just like, hard. I woke up crying. I'm emotional. I'm like getting ready for work, but I'm like, let me just call him. Like, I just felt like I couldn't go on with my day at work, like thinking about like, what does he have to say? Mm-hmm. And like, especially because it definitely is. It sounds like a confirmation,
right?
And there was a part of me that was like, maybe it's not a confirmation. Maybe he's just like doesn't want to explain anything over text. Like, he's being really blunt. Like, again, like, because when you're so in love,
there's that love,
and there's that like that part of you that just makes excuses. Like, you just make excuses.
It's
like
the fear in you because you're scared to let them go. You don't want them.
No, I don't want to let them go. Like, like I just was hoping like I was just hoping like I was wrong and he just would show up on my doorstep with fucking flowers. Like, I wanted him, like, I just was hoping he like, would do everything he can to try to make it right, and like we could work this out and whatever. And like I was just like praying. I was like, please, like, let this just not, like, this feels like a fucking nightmare. Like, this does not feel right, And so I called him. And it wasn't nice when he picked up. Like, I obviously I've been going through it all week. First time I'm hearing from him, and I feel like I kind of blacked out in the conversation, but you know what? It's just all happening and it's just like intense. But from the bullet points that I remember of the conversation, immediately I'm just like, did you fuck her? Like, did you fuck her? Like, I'm not an angry person at all. Like, if anything, like, I'm very calm. I'll cry. I'll cry a lot, but I don't get aggressive. I don't like scream, and I could do those things, and he brings that out of me. Mm-hmm. And immediately I was just like, had this bad fucking attitude. Like, I just was not gonna be like, hey, like, the fuck, I'm not gonna be like, hey, how you been? Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
No, like, get fucking to it. What the fuck do you gotta say?
We don't have time to waste.
We don't have time to waste.
Right.
Like, so literally, like, that was just like my demeanor was just like, what? I was like, you obviously have something to tell me. What is it? And he was just like, don't give me that attitude. Come on, like, you're too emotional right now. Let's not have this conversation when you're really emotional. I was like, this is the last time you're ever gonna fucking talk to me, so you better fucking talk to me and tell me everything right now.
Right.
Like, this is the last fucking time, so you better fucking say it. And he was just like, and he's like, all right. He's like, well, she was here and I saw her. No, she didn't come out here for me. I was like, who the fuck did she come out here for? The fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
Who the fuck goes to Alabama?
Nobody. I'm from the Midwest. Nobody goes to Alabama.
No. In the middle of a pandemic. Like, who's going to take that flight and take that risk?
Right.
Excuse me. Excuse me, it's this beer. My God. And he's just like, he's trying to stay calm and not trying to like yell back at me because I'm already just heated. Mm-hmm. And he's like, she didn't come for me, but I went to go see her. And I was just like telling him like why the fuck like he was doing this to me.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I was like, okay, so you saw her, like, did you fuck her? Stayed quiet. It's like, did you fuck her? Did you entangle her?
Did you entangle her?
Are you entangled?
Are you entangled with this woman?
Like, did you fuck her? Did you sleep with her? And he was just quiet. I was like, tell me! Fucking tell me! And he was like, yes. And I just fucking lost it. Like, I fucking lost it. Oh.
I'm gonna. What?
I'm just gonna
give you a hug.
So mean.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I did.
I feel it.
And I was just like, from then point on, we were on the phone for an hour and a half. Whole time, I was calling him a piece of shit. How he's the most disgusting person on this fucking planet. And how dare he, like, I was like, really? Like, you really want to fucking give, like, you couldn't wait for a few more weeks to see me? Like, you couldn't keep your fucking dick in your pants? Like, you're that pathetic? Like, you're that pathetic? Like, you're so sick in the fucking head. You could not just, like, contain yourself. Like, in that moment, you really didn't give a fuck about me. All these lies you tell me, like, I love you, I care for you, I want you, no. 1 second of fucking pussy, you just fucking forget. Like, are you kidding me? I was like, this makes sense. This makes sense to why you've always been so, like just jealous and, like, offended by shit. Like, I knew for a fact I wasn't gonna fuck my ex-boyfriend. I knew for a fact that I was gonna go for a conversation for content, which is kind of embarrassing to admit. Yeah. But I admitted that. Like, right. I admitted that, and I knew, and I told him because I wasn't gonna hide anything. I wasn't hiding anything, and I wanted to tell him, and he couldn't believe me because he wouldn't fucking do the same thing.
You want to know something that I came to learn after the fact too, that I think totally applies right now? All of the things he was insecure about, including,
right,
especially the ramen with your ex and him getting upset about it, and just assuming you were gonna have sex with him. They say those things, and those fears are in their head because they would do it themselves. And
that's exactly what he did.
That's their reality. Their reality is, okay, well, if I ever went and got ramen with my ex, I'd definitely bang her. That's his reality. Right. So then when you're placed in his reality, he's all pissed because he's like, well, now she's going to go
fuck her ex. I wasn't going to.
So all of those things that he's insecure about are because they're all things he knows he would do himself.
Exactly.
That's how he acts and how he would act.
And I told him, like, everything that I've been feeling about him, everything that I was feeling in the moment, like, I told him. I was like, this makes fucking sense of why you broke up with me. You wanted to break up with me so bad. Like, I hope this fucking, I hope this was fucking worth it for you. And he was like, I didn't try to, like, I didn't break up with you because of this. I swear this wasn't planned. This wasn't planned at all. Like, you know, she didn't come out to see me. She just was out in town, and we just met up. And I was like, that's the difference between you and I, is because, yeah, even though we don't have a fucking label, like you want to say, because he was also saying, like, this is not cheating. This is not cheating. I was like, that's.
But ramen is cheating?
Ramen, yeah, and
so ramen's cheating, but fucking isn't.
But that's why I said, I was like, there's a difference between you and I, because in this situationship that we're fucking in, which I hate to admit that we were in, yes, we didn't have the title, and you had your fucking freedom on top of, like, having the benefits of having emotional support from me. Like I looked at it as like, well, I love you and I just want to be with you, so I'm gonna buy a flight, book a hotel, put my body into, like, go through fucking birth control and shit. Like, I'm going to Planned Parenthood. I'm doing all the actions to make sure that I go there because I want this relationship to work. I want this relationship to thrive. I want you. I want a future with you. But you, in this situation, as soon as your ex is in town and pussy's fucking available, everything goes out the fucking window. Like, that's the difference. And I was like, that's sick. I was like, why would I let myself, like, put so much effort into, like, something where, like, he's not even sure he even wants to be with me? Yeah. Like, why would I let myself do that? Like, if anything, I was, like, starting to, like, I don't know, just started realizing, like, I was just doing too much. This dude is not worth it. And I was just so delusional and so hopeful that it was, like, so worth it. Mm-hmm. And, like, sorry, like, all these tears are just I was just really convinced that all of this was just going to be, like, it would just work out in the end. Even though I knew it wasn't going to, because I would see all these red flags, I wanted to put time and investment into something. I loved him. I loved us.
It was the love bubble.
Yeah. And I just told him, he was like, what do you mean I'm giving you the bare minimum? Like, you acting like I've never done anything for you. Like, you've acted like.
I hate when they do that. Yeah. I hate when they do that.
And I'm like, there's nothing I could fucking name right now. Like, okay, cute. You say I love you through the phone. Cute. Last year, like, and I reflect back to, like, the episode with Rose, and I'm sure this is a pretty a popular line that people like to bring up. In Rose's episode, A Lot of Size, she said, like, why are you being the girlfriend? Like, the emotional you're being the emotional girlfriend. Like, why are you doing this? He's not your boyfriend.
Right.
And it just was like, that was a year ago, and now it's just fucking clicking with me. And, like, and last year on this time, his birthday was coming up, and I made sure his birthday was fun. I put in the effort. I wore an outfit that I knew that he liked. Like, I did, like, everything to make sure that he had, like, a good fucking birthday. He never did anything for my birthday. Nothing.
Oh my God.
Nothing. So, and it honestly never even bugged me, but until now, where I just thought of everything, and I'm like, I'm naming all the things that I've done for you, and none of that have you done in return for me.
You should. That's a really good, you should be writing all these down too.
Exactly.
It's a very, very smart thing, because we keep talking about this, like, love bubble, but it is so true. You have these goggles on with reflectors that don't let you see reality. Right. And you're only focused on them. And I know you as a human too, and I think we're pretty similar in the way that we love, and we give all of ourselves to who we love. Friends, relationships, family, whatever. And being that person naturally, it makes it, like, multiplied when you're in a relationship, and
100%.
it's hard to see that you're not receiving
because it's like
what you're giving,
because you're not doing it or expecting a return.
But we should. When it comes to relationships, I've learned that you should, because that's a sign of respect, and that shows that you're also a priority, the same as you're making them a priority.
Right.
So,
and it's crazy because it's he had the nerve to tell me that, like, when he broke up with me because I wanted to record with Rose again, which is such a ridiculous fucking reason, honestly, which I truly believe is because his ex was coming to town. You want to fuck his ex, so you want to blame it on fucking Rose. Anyway, I truly, even though he says like that wasn't true, I 100% believe that deep down he knew like he wanted to get some. And he wanted to feel less guilty about it. But anyway, like, when we broke up that one time, he was like, he you know, he was just telling me, like, he was like making me feel like shit. Like, you would bring an enemy to my own home. Like, you would do this to me. Like, he was upset that I was bringing someone that didn't like him, you know, onto the show. Like, he felt really betrayed by that. And he's like, you know what? Like, he's like, in your next relationship, you better treat the person.
I don't even want you to finish the sentence.
Like, I want you to treat the person the way that you want to be treated. And I, like, was dumb. And I was like, okay. You know? And I, like, and then all of this happened. I'm like, wait, hold up. I have done way too much for you, because I was about to do way too much for you just right now, and this is how you fucking repay me? You've never returned the type of love that I've given. Like, never. It was the bare minimum. Like, literally has not had to try and work for fucking anything. He thinks he had to work. It was work for him to forgive me the fact that I, like, wanted to go talk to an ex, even though I wasn't gonna fucking do anything. It was so much work for him to, like, fucking forgive me, which he never even forgave me for. He always made me feel guilty. And what did he do? He did the same thing, but fucking worse. He was trying to, like, at times turn things around on me, and I was just like, fuck you. Like, you're the fucking issue here, turning this shit around on me. Like, this is not, like, I didn't do anything wrong. And then he'd be like, I know, I'm owning up to my issues. I am, but I'm just saying. I'm like, no, like, I'm tired of it. I feel like our whole relationship was all about what I needed to do to be a better person and a better person in this relationship. And I'm talking about my baggage and my trauma. Like, it was never about his fucking baggage. It was never about what he needed to fix about himself. It was always what I needed to fix.
Because he had this, like, beautiful thing handed to him on a silver platter, and he's like,
he has a lot of demons that I feel like he just needs to, like, you know, understand that he has. Like, I'm not the first girlfriend that he's done this to. He's fucked up all the time with women.
And he's going to continue to until he seeks help.
And I'm like, and that's why I was like, you're fucking pathetic. I was like, she shouldn't even be with you. Like, she fucking deserves better than you.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, he's a lot of things, but immaturity is, like, one of the biggest.
And that is the one thing that everyone always says. Like, when I vent to them, they're always like, the first word that comes to mind that all of you guys say is, he's immature.
I mean, you could tell it just by the Twitter fight, the whole thing that happened on Twitter. You could tell through him getting upset about ramen. Like, these are little things that when you have emotional maturity, you can't have trust if you're emotionally immature, because you don't understand what trust is.
No.
You don't have the ability to be this, like, well-rounded, functioning adult human being when you're stuck in immaturity, and you also don't care to, like, try to get out of it.
Right.
Like, there are men, and we've encountered more than just Morgan and other guys that I've dated or my ex. Mm-hmm. There's so many like that out there. And there's women like that out there too. It's just people who are set in their ways because they've realized they can manipulate kind, caring, passionate people
100%
into giving them what they want, where they can still stay in their nice little cloud
and bang their fucking ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I just like, it was just like a roller coaster. I agree with everything you're saying. Like, I just feel like it's like I feel like everything that he's always done, people are just like, he's really immature. Like, it was always a question of like, how old is he? Like, it was always like, that was always the question that was asked. And like, it's crazy because it's like, I'll talk to him and he just thinks he's a fucking stand up mature ass motherfucker.
No, he's absolutely
like, I want like and it's still, it sucks because it's like I'm saying all this shit, but of course there's still like a part of me that feels bad for like,
you love him,
like just airing this out, you know, because it's really done. Like, as soon as he hears this, like, he was mad about the last episode, oh, he's really done now. Like, I feel like everything that I'm saying now, I didn't say any of this before, you know. I mean, a lot of it was like me just owning up to my shit, and it was about like what I needed to do to be better. And I feel like I already know that. Like, even prior to the episode, I was very self-aware, you know, and I'm thankful for that episode, don't get me wrong, and I'm thankful for what my friend's advice was, but I just feel like, why is it like the conversation was never about what he needed to do to be a better man. He just already felt like he was the man that he wanted to be, which is, and that was the thing I was telling him, because he was just like, you think I've given you nothing? Like, you act like I've just like given you nothing. I was like, you've given me, like, you made me feel happy for like a little bit, and then you fuck up. Like, I was like, if this is literally the best you can do, I don't want it.
right?
I don't want it. Like, this is not like,
You deserve
this fly. I just like touched it. I was like, this is not the type of love that I want. This is not how I want to be loved. Yes,
You
like,
don't deserve that.
I don't want this. I don't deserve it. It's not good. You do not love me the way that I want to be loved and deserve to be loved.
or love him.
Right.
No matter how many times, I love you are 3 words that are meaningless without actions.
100%. And that's what I said. I was like, you say all this shit, your actions don't meet up. He's like, oh, really? My actions don't meet up? I was like, yes, look what you just fucking did. I tell you I love you. So what am I doing? I'm fucking risking my health, going on a flight in the middle of a pandemic, paying for my own fucking flight, paying for my own hotel, putting my body through fucking birth control just so I could go please you. Like, because I love you. And what do you do when you love me? You fuck your ex-girlfriend. Oh, God, sorry.
You let it out.
Thanks, Rachel, for listening.
I'm here. Remember how I said you use the ones closest to you as a punching bag?
Yeah.
That's me right now.
I'm so sorry.
We're this close. That's what I'm here for. This is what friends are for.
I know. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm so, like, I felt so bad for like my roommate this morning, because I was, like, you think I'm going off now, I was going off. And I think, you know, a lot of people haven't seen me like that. And it's a good thing they won't see me like that, because I don't have, you know, I don't let a lot of people or whatever make me feel that kind of rage. And it was like, I think the first time she's ever experienced me in that rage. And she was just like, do you want water?
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Well, you're going
She's
through
like, you're doing great. Just keep cussing him out.
It's true. But you're going through grief,
Right.
which is why I continue to say cry, yell,
Right.
do it all. Because if you don't do it now, it's going to bite you in the ass later.
Right. And I want to get it over with as soon as possible. So that's why I needed to do this episode, because it needed to be there. I needed to like use this moment of pain, because I could have been home crying, which is also a good way to get over things too. But I've already been doing that all week. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just feel like this whole relationship, I cry so much. Like I've cried so much in this relationship. Like, he makes me cry so much. And like, it's just so much built up that finally something that happened that I knew in my heart was going to happen. And it's like, I told you so stuff. I told you so stuff. And it's like, on top of the pain that he's put me through, like, I'm angry. Like, I'm just like frustrated. Like, I'm so disappointed in him. I'm so disgusted with him. Like, he is a piece of shit. Like, good thing he wasn't here, because I probably would have fucking slash his tires. I'm like at that, like I was so, trying to adjust my bra strap.
But you have a right to be angry right now. Like everything, I just want to continue to let you know you are feeling things that you should absolutely be feeling right now.
Right.
And you are not crazy, because I know that thought's going through your head. You were never crazy. Like it's one of those things, you can see it clearly now. You were in a situationship where you gave so much more than he did. And he's never going to give to someone until he addresses his own issues, until he matures. That he was never going to be able to give you what you deserve.
Right.
Until he does the work for himself. The fact that you even sat here and thought to yourself, oh, okay, maybe I was this way and I need to change, when we were talking earlier, that's like, I'm blown away by that, because that's like self-awareness and the fact that you want to make yourself better. You want to improve. You can see error, you can accept it, you can apologize, you can move forward, and then you can change.
Right.
But it takes so much maturity to even get to that level.
He couldn't do that once in our relationship.
And that's why he gets mad about these podcasts, because you're airing his shit. That's the truth.
That's what I'm saying.
You're putting it in front of him and saying, like, look, this is something that you need to fucking work on. And he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want it anywhere in his peripherals. He doesn't want it anywhere near his reality, because he doesn't want to face it. And you know what? That's fine. It's actually fine.
It's not my problem.
Because it's not your problem anymore. He will face, as a human, I always try to believe the best in all humans. I believe at the time that he's supposed to address it, he will address it. And it's a shame that you got mixed up in it before he was there. Ready. Right. It's a shame to you, because you don't deserve that. And yeah, hopefully, I don't know, some guys just never address it.
They just don't.
Sometimes they don't, but I hope that one day he will.
Right. I hope so too. I mean, I don't know. I don't give a fuck anymore.
I know. Right now, you're literally.
I'm like, I don't really hope anything for you. But you're right. Like everything, like hating the episode with Rose, hating the intervention episode, just hate. Like he was, he would be supportive of the show. Like, yeah. But he just hated, like, who I'd be recording with or what I'd be talking about. Like, he's embarrassed. He was embarrassed. He's just, and here's the thing, like, I'll play devil's advocate in that situation. Like, no one, like, when you date me, you kind of sign up for something, right? And it's difficult. I get that. Not everyone is as open and as vulnerable as me and is not going to feel as passionate about the show as I am. Like, no one will ever feel as passionate about the show as I am.
Right.
And including my partner. And that is a difficult thing with having to date me, is just having to accept that. And then he tried, but at the same time, it was just very, very hard for him, because of course what I talk about is going to be a lot of times based off of my life and my situation with him. Mm-hmm. And I know I probably just in general intimidate a lot of dudes because of this show.
Right.
Like, that's just my reality. I understand that. And he really tried to fight against that, and he just couldn't. He just was not the man who was mature enough or secure enough to understand it, because not only am I facing my demons and talking about my insecurities, he's got to have to listen and face his insecurities too, because he's a part of the story. Mm-hmm. And not everyone is okay with hearing about that. Not everyone's okay with hearing about someone talk about them and have their friends make their comments that are exactly true. Because you know what? Rose is chilling. Rose don't give a fuck about you. Rose does not give a fuck about you. She she just was trying to be a good friend and was thinking what everyone else was thinking. Mm-hmm. Because what she said was all facts. None of it about that was none about any of the stories that I've brought up were lies. Was like, maybe I should be more positive about this. I don't want to be negative about it, But it's like, I have to filter myself, and I have to, but it's like, don't fuck up. If you don't want me to talk shit, don't fuck up.
Okay, but to your defense, and I'm not just saying that's because I'm your friend, but that episode with Rose, you were the entire time, you were advocating for him. You continued to stand up for him that entire episode. Maybe you were standing up more for like you two as a couple or together, but it was both. Like
I just was saying like I don't know. I like it. I don't know how to. I just didn't know how to explain myself in that moment.
But you were when she
but
came
I was
at
very
you with
much
facts.
like, right.
You were very much. I remember that episode, and I remember watching it, and I could see how much you cared and didn't want what she was saying to be the reason why it ended because you wanted it.
Yeah.
So he can't. Yeah.
And so I mean, yeah. So it just like our conversation really was angry and me yelling, and I'll give it to him too. Even though I should give anything to him, he took it. He not once called me a bitch or yelled at me. He fucking took it, and he was just like, "I'm gonna let you just have this moment and just tell me anything that you feel, you know." And I just was I chewed him out. I just was like, "How can you do this to me?" Like you wanted it that bad to literally throw away having me in your life. Like you couldn't just think logically for a minute. Like your dick took over everything. And he was telling me, he's like, it's not a relationship with her. It was just like a hookup, pretty much. It's from what he explains to me. Who knows? I don't fully believe it.
I'm going to just real quick, just so I'm understanding everything. Everyone can understand. The situationship. Did you ever lay out guidelines, rules? Were we not supposed to sleep with people? Were we allowed to?
Yeah, so that's where it obviously fucked up, because, and this is where going forward, I cannot put myself in this position again, no matter how much in love or addicted to dick I am, because I almost allowed him to do it. Mm-hmm. And that's why he's like, when did I lie to you? He's like, am I even cheating on you? Like he could, like, it's like, we know, like he literally said, is like, this is not cheating. Like we called it off. And I just like, I was just in awe and I was embarrassed because it was like, okay, yeah, you're right. But at the same time, it doesn't make it right, And it's like, because I've allowed that,
but
I've allowed that to happen. And like, that's the thing is like, as women, when you're in a relation, when you want something from a man, just fucking say it, because they will try to get away with as much as they can. Like they will try to get away with it. So if they feel like, okay, there's no title. And also another thing, I was honest about him about going on Hinge. Mm-hmm. I was honest. And then afterwards I told him I can't do it. Like I just want to be with you. I just want to talk to you. Like why would I talk to all these strangers when I could talk to you? Mm-hmm. And I told him I deleted the app. Like I was honest about that. But he brought that up. He was like, you went on Hinge and you were trying to fuck someone else, and you were, you put yourself out there. I felt like it gave him an excuse to do that, which was like, this is completely different thing.
He's just reaching.
So there wasn't necessarily any guidelines. It was just like, I think there was just always this just understanding of like, if we're in each other's lives, like, just don't fuck up, And like, I assumed that was what the guidelines were. It was never discussed, and that's where I went wrong. I should have laid down the law. I should have told him what I wanted. I should have told him, the boundaries of what it takes. I should have made him work for it. I should have made him, like understand what this is, so he can't hit me with, but it's not cheating.
It's the friend in me throwing truth. If he really wanted to be with you and only you and isn't an open relationship kind of guy, he would have wanted a label. You would have wanted a label. You would have had the discussion of putting a label on it. I feel like a lot of men avoid the conversation if possible, if the partner doesn't bring it up, because then they know they can use this as a fucking hall pass. They can use this. Well, look, we weren't in it. We
I
weren't
know.
official. We had no title. We didn't talk about it.
It just makes it easier for them. Like, that's what it is. It's just like, again, he's not someone who wants to put in work for anything. So it was just like the situation I brought into him where it was like, I'm still here. I'm going to call you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to fly out to you. I'm going to give this pussy to you. Like, all this shit. I'm handing everything over to you. And I'm not even asking for an actual label. I'm not asking for anything.
You'd be a fool not to take it as a man.
Right. And so that's where I fucked up as a woman in this situation, is I did not tell him what I wanted. I did not. I just assumed he would just want the same thing and do the same thing that I would, which is fair, but I just hope it was fucking worth it for you, Morgan. I swear to God. Like, you just fucked it up, and like, he just fucked it up. And like, you know, I was just telling him this is like the last time I'm ever going to talk to you again. And, you know, he was just like, you know, he was like, you know me, like, I'm not going to force anyone to ever want to be with me or whatever. Like, if you want to leave, then go. That's on you.
Oh.
But if you want to stay, I'll be here. Like, again, easy, convenient, just like what your fucking ex-girlfriend did. Like, just convenient. It was pussy that was there. It was attention that was there and you were familiar with, and it was right there. Like, that's what you want. You want fucking convenience. You don't want to put in work. You don't want to try. Like, you do not want that at all. You just want easiness. Like, and to me, you have to put in work. And that's literally one of the biggest lessons that I've learned about myself, was like, oh my God, I want to be loved like this. Like, this is the type of love that I want. I didn't really know that before, oddly enough. But I was like, whoa, like, I cannot deal with this kind of behavior. Like, I want to be loved like this. And the way that I want to be loved does take work. But if you love me, it won't even feel like it's work. You know, like, it just be something that you just naturally do and want to do. Just as for me, when I put in work for him, it didn't feel like it was a lot of work. That's why it didn't feel overwhelming, because it was like, I want to do that. You know?
I know it's early, like, this just happened. It's super fresh. So I don't mean to like spit the like universe kind of on it, but everything happens for a fucking reason. It all happens. Your pain, your joy, everything in your life comes into your life and leaves or stays for a reason. And again, I know it's so early, so you should still continue to feel the anger. You should feel the sadness. You should feel the pain. But know what you just said right now is something you didn't know before him.
Right.
You didn't know.
I didn't.
And now you know, going into your next relationship, communication is key.
And I don't want to date a hoe ever again.
You don't want to date a hoe.
I swear to God.
That's another thing. You've learned about all these qualities in men that you don't vibe with. Some people might vibe with them.
Right. I literally have said on the show before, like, I'd be okay with dating a hoe. No, I cannot. I will never in a million years. And I mean, I don't want a fucking 30-year-old virgin either, but like, I just like, but at the same time, like, I don't want someone who has that like fuckboy fucking behavior. Like, I'm sorry, I'm calling you a fuckboy, even though we had an episode and you were not claiming to be a fuckboy, but you're a fuckboy. Like,
he's a fuckboy.
He's a fuckboy.
Yeah.
And like, literally, I do not want any sign of hoe behavior. I don't want to know that you just were like, had all these bitches on your line. I don't, like, even if it's before me, like, I don't want a man who like treats women like that. And that was the thing I was telling him, that I was like, you just treat women like shit. Like, you do this to all your ex-girlfriends.
It's going to trickle into every part of his life, though.
100%.
Like, it's going to affect work relationships. It's going to affect family. Like, people who act like this, who really, truly don't have full respect for other humans. Not even just women, but other men. Just other human beings. It's a domino effect. So it's one of those things where sooner rather than later, he should address these things and learn how to properly, like, navigate life like a mature, normal human with respect for other humans. But at
It's just
point,
like a common fucking decency, my God.
But you just remember who you are. Remember how strong you are. And if you had the strength throughout that entire relationship to stand tall, you can get through this too.
Right.
And you've learned so much about yourself, about him, about what you want, about what you don't want. It still can, again, feel the things, feel the pain, feel the sadness, feel the maybe relief, whatever you may,
there's a lot of relief going on. I will admit that. I'm like, definitely like, oh.
Absolutely. Whatever you feel it. But just also, it's great to journal like all the positive things you've learned from the experience, or maybe negative things that you've learned. But then you can kind of, I think that way it's easier to close a chapter. You're moving on. Like, this is what I've learned in this chapter in my life. Now I'm going on to the next with that knowledge. One. And hopefully you'll never go through this again. Like, that's kind of the silver lining. So, sometimes we're all human. Right. Like, you might get back into something like this. Hopefully not. But
I feel like this might be the last. I'm hoping it might be last.
But it might not be the last person like this you encounter, but it will be the last time you allow someone to affect you this way. So that's a silver lining. That's the last time you have to deal with some fuckboy like this. No more. I love you. I'm always here for you.
Thank you. Any last words?
I love you.
Oh,
you're a great human, and you give so much of yourself to friends and relationships. Don't let this take that away from you, because that's an important quality that not a lot of people have, and it's beautiful. So,
well, thanks, Rach.
Don't let this discourage you. Like, you still have a lot to give, and someone one day is going to love the love that they receive from you, and you're going to feel it back. So
100%. I feel like I'm if anything, being in this relationship made me realize how ready I am for actually something serious and mature. Like, I feel like before him I was just kind of trying on a few shoes, trying to see what fits, what works, what doesn't, and like, there's still more to figure out, but this relationship really opened up to the fact that, like, damn, I'm a really stand-up woman. Like, if anything, it hasn't ruined my confidence. It's like made my confidence. Like, good, I'm more of like, I know my fucking worth, and I will not put up with this. I am too good for you. Like, you don't deserve me. Like, it's just, I feel like my standards, if anything, have just skyrocketed, because I'm like, I do not ever want to feel this way ever again.
And you're not going to let yourself know.
No. Okay, we're running out of time. We're like over my studio rental.
Whoopsie.
I know. Do you want to plug yourself?
Yeah. Oh, I updated my Instagram handle because literally for this podcast.
Really?
Oh, I'm not kidding. Well, I wanted to. I didn't want it to be like my full name anymore. Right. But it was definitely something I thought of.
Okay, yeah. I was like, how am I gonna plug myself?
But it's still kind of hard because I just took out the vowels. So I'm at Rach WSBRCH.
All right, and I'll put links and shit.
Yeah.
Stuff. And follow me, Stephanie Megan, or go to brocotherapy.com. All that shit will be there. Okay. I love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
You. Bye.
Girl therapy.